Hey you guys, it's Sad7Statue with my first thoughts on Fallout New Vegas. Alright, so the story of New Vegas starts out that you're on a courier mission and you run into a group of great cons led by a man named Benny. These guys take the package that you're carrying and leave you left for dead. Now obviously, since this is the start of the game, you're not gonna die, you get saved, and then the rest of the game is about your path of revenge. Alright, so as far as the factions are concerned, I found that they brought a lot more to the table than the good and evil karma system of Fallout 3. Siding with certain factions will lock out certain quests, so it may take achievement seekers a few playthroughs to see most of the content. If you have played Fallout 3, then you know what to expect because not much has changed, and you may find a few new items here or there along your travels, but other than that, it stays pretty standard. I know I'm not the only one that has always had a problem with glitches in Fallout 3, and the game was littered with them, and the same holds true here. Most of them are just visual and don't really take much out of the gameplay itself, but when you do find those that restrict you from progress, it really can be quite frustrating if you don't have a recent save handy. I know I've got trapped a few times in certain spots where I was absolutely restricted from movement in every direction. I've ran into a few rad scorpions stuck in textures and sticking out of the ground and certain stuff like that, but most of them haven't been critical to the actual gameplay, which is good. While the general look in New Vegas isn't a huge departure from the DC wasteland, it still looks very solid and is just as fun to explore. It's a really good feeling seeing the Vegas lights over the horizon for the very first time. Character models appear to be a bit dated, but with the amount of content in the game, I find it to be pretty acceptable. Just because it's a lot of stuff to work on, they crammed it in on content and didn't spend all the time on the graphics, which it is about gameplay after all. I find the same thing to be with glitches too. It is a very big game, there's a lot of content, it's going to be hard for them to fix it all. It's still unpleasant, but you can't expect it to be perfect when it's this big, because you're bound to find a lot less problems in a straightforward linear game, but it doesn't really hold as much replay value or whatever, so it's really something you don't mind putting up with too much. And that's about the end of my first thoughts on New Vegas. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to rate it and stuff.